Hi guys, welcome to a brand new episode of AB in the Films. Before I talk about the movie, VHS update. Okay, I went to a thrift store to buy some stuff, and this is what I have. I saw some video cassettes sitting in the window, and I just had to get them. Because I'm going to open up my own Blockbuster, right? No, I can't. Boy, how awesome would that be? It would go under in 2 minutes, right? Alright, here we go. The original 1994 VHS release of Schindler's List. And by the way, I'm going to be talking about this movie in a couple of episodes from now because there's a lot to talk about. I've talked about this movie before. But yeah, folks, this is the 1994, it says it right there, it's kind of hard to see, 1994 VHS release of Schindler's List. The thing I like about this tape is, check this out, It's hard to see it. It says void, but look at that. You see that? That's a West Coast Video sticker on there. We used to rent movies from West Coast Video back in the 90s. So this was probably in the West Coast Video that used to be right around where I live, most likely. But I'm happy to have this. Now I have it on VHS and DVD. Here we go. The original 1985 VHS release of Easy Rider. Yeah, and it's got this this side. I think Columbia and TriStar Home Video, when they were releasing their films back in the 80s, the sides all look the same, because I remember the 1987 VHS of Stand By Me having this font and the side looking exactly like this. I still haven't found that VHS of Stand By Me. I know that exists somewhere. I rented that tape so many times as a kid. Yeah, I was allowed to watch Stand By Me as a kid, right? So yeah, this is Easy Rider. And I've never seen this movie. A lot of people say it's good. Haven't seen it. I'll give it a watch. And the third one, don't worry, I'll get to the movie in a minute. I know you guys want to hear my opinion on the movie. This one, yeah, Psycho. This is still in the plastic, folks. This has never been open. And you know how old this VHS tape is? 1988. Yeah, this tape is 30 years old. It's never been played. It's still in the plastic. Look at that. How about that, right? Yeah, that's something to see. But I like this. I really like this covering. This cover's actually better than the cover that I have on DVD of Janet Leigh in the shower. This one's actually a better cover. I like this cover a lot more. Surprisingly enough, this is what the DVD menu looks like on the DVD. Here was this picture. But yeah, this is the 1988 VHS release of Psycho. I saw this. Guys, I had to have it in my collection, so now I can add this to the VHS collection. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about the MEG. This is a new shark movie. I don't think we've had a new shark movie since Sharknado. No, actually, let me be realistic here, because Sharknado's a TV movie. The Shallows, I think, with Blake Lively. That was the last shark movie that came out, I believe, which was about 2 years ago. This shark movie, okay, I'm a huge fan of shark movies, and you know what, I think my next episode I'm going to do my favorite shark movies. I got to talk about them, because I've been a huge fan of shark movies ever since I was a kid. The movie Jaws got me interested in making movies, appreciating movies. I mean, I got to do a favorite shark movies list, guys. I got to do it. So, I saw the trailer for the MEG. Yes, I knew the shark was going to be CGI. Of course, they're not going to use practical effects in this. I feel the movie probably would have been a lot better if this movie had been made 20, 30 years ago, but it was made in 2018, so let's take a look at it. John Turteltaub directed this. I was actually surprised to see his name on this. He's directed a couple movies that I have liked in the past. I think he did the National Treasure movies, I think. I know he did Disney's The Kid with Bruce Willis. That was a really good one. So I was actually surprised to see he directed this. What is this movie? It's every shark movie you'd imagine, guys. It's man versus shark. If you've seen Jaws, you've seen the MEG. Now, does that mean it's a good movie? Yes and no. For me, okay, for me, I love Jason Statham. okay? I was introduced to Jason Statham when I first saw the movie Cellular, okay? And yeah, he's a good actor. I do like him. I like him in the Fast and Furious movies. I liked him in Cellular. I think he's pretty good, and he's a likable actor. I do enjoy watching him. Rainn Wilson from The Office is in this. Yep, he's in this, and he's okay, I guess. There's a lot of unknowns in here, at least for me, that I don't know. I thought the woman was pretty good. What was her name again? Okay, yeah. She was actually pretty good in this. So, what is the story? This can't just be Jaws copy and paste, right? Well, parts of it are, but parts of it are also from other movies that we've seen before. So, so Jason Statham's character, the plot of this movie is that Jason Statham's character, it's actually not bad. Even though I feel like I've seen part of this before. A lot of this felt like Deep Blue Sea a little bit. I thought it was going to be like Deep Blue Sea, but it's a little different. Okay, so the plot of this movie is Jason Statham is part of a search and rescue team. And right there, and there's going to be spoilers in this, by the way. The movie opens up with him going into this submarine, I think, and rescuing these people, leaving a couple of his men behind in the search and rescue team that he's on. And he can't deal with it anymore. He thinks about it every day that he lost his friends due to whatever was down there, as if we already don't know what's down there. The title gave it away. He's on, like, a beach in Maui somewhere. He doesn't do the rescue thing anymore. And then finally, we cut to years later. Rainn Wilson is this billionaire, and he is running, I guess, an underwater science lab or something. I don't know. Basically, whatever Deep Blue Sea was doing. You know, it was that underwater facility where they're doing a lot of marine biology on animals and trying to discover new creatures in the deep and trying to see what it all means. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. It's very science fiction. But, you know, the way they're talking and how authentic the science is. But, so it's a little boring at first, but, alright, let's see where it goes. So it turns out that, they have these scientists that are going underwater, very, very deep underwater, to discover these new animals that might be under there, and they encounter, what appears to be, they thought, the extinct Megalodon. Which, by the way, for those of you who don't know what a megalodon is, let me just tell you what it is right now. It is a shark, and it makes the great white shark look like a shrimp. Yeah, that big. In fact, try comparing the great white to a megalodon. Yeah, the great white shark doesn't even come close, guys. You thought the great white shark was the big killer of sharks? Nope. Megalodon rules all. So, can you imagine if Jaws was a megalodon? That would have been even scarier. So these three scientists, they go underneath in the water and they get trapped, and the researchers above ground know of Jason Statham's work. They call him in, they talk him into it, he goes in to save them. And pretty much the rest of the movie is man versus shark. That's really the rest of the movie. They're on a boat. They leave the facility, they get on a boat, they're trying to wrangle with the megalodon, trying to kill it. They put listen, Jason Statham takes out a tranquilizer thing that shoots out a tracker dart in the fin so they can track it. Does that sound familiar, folks? Later, we cut to the megalodon swimming in shallow water, which again I think is BS. How can a megalodon swim in shallow water, folks? It's bigger than the great white shark, okay? How can it swim in shallow water? But we need to copy those Jaws scenes somehow, or at least pay homage to them, I think is what John Turteltaub is doing. I mean, for God's sakes, guys, there's a scene where a married couple just got married, and they have a little dog, and the dog swims off the boat and swimming in the ocean. The dog's name is Pippin. You're gonna tell me that's not a coincidence, folks? Come on! They're obviously paying homage to Jaws there, obviously. Come on, man. So finally it's... And of course there's a bit... I will say this, though. They do not blow up the shark in this movie. I will say that, which I was really hoping they wouldn't, because how many times in a shark movie have we seen that? So they don't do that. Aside from the shark... Okay, so what do I think of this movie? You know, going in, you know it's going to be a man versus shark movie, which is what every shark movie is. I mean, everybody has tried to rip off Jaws. This movie isn't necessarily a rip-off, because it knows that its audience is going to be thinking of Jaws going in to see this, okay? And it's aware of this, and I like that. Like, obviously, like, there's a scene where, the Megalodon, where okay, without giving this away, they think they have it. They think they have it caught, and they're in these two rowboats, and a helicopter comes over and tries to... And you think it's going to be like Jaws 2, right? For those of you who've seen Jaws 2, it's not. And it knows this. And I'm like, okay, that's good. At least it has some kind of intelligence. It's not trying to water down what Jaws and Jaws 2 were, you know? It's not trying to be like the movie Great White from 1980 with Vic Morrow, okay? It's not trying to copy Jaws. So, the movie overall, it's a good, entertaining movie. Is it a great shark movie? I thought it was a good shark movie, not a great one. Because when you know this is going to be man versus shark, you're really depending on the characters. Because you know the way the story is going to go. You kind of have an idea. You know the shark is going to die in the end, and you know the characters are going to come out on top. So, are the characters any good? I feel like a lot of characters... Okay, there are some characters there that are just there for exposition, okay? Without a doubt. And I feel that maybe one more rewrite could have been good. I mean, Rainn Wilson, he's the billionaire. He says that he called the Chinese government to come in and take a look at the Megalodon so they don't have to look after it. All of a sudden, what a shock, he didn't call anybody. He gets his men and tries to go in and take over the Megalodon for money. I mean, where have we... Jurassic World did this, folks, and it was dinosaurs. I mean, like, you know these caricatures. I mean, like, even Jason Statham's character is a caricature. Like, okay, like, he does this business, he left the business, but he's gonna come back to the business and save the day. We've seen this. The woman has, the protagonist scientist, you know, the main woman, she has a daughter. The daughter has those scenes in suspenseful movies. So, like, there's a scene where, and it's in the trailer, where she's walking in the facility that's underwater. She looks up and sees the Megalodon open his mouth slowly. But before that, she's playing with, like, this toy on the ground. It almost kind of feels like The Shining a little bit. I mean, like, we've seen this stuff. But, you know... Okay, here's what I can say about the movie. When I go see a movie, it doesn't matter how many times you've seen it, or whether it's good or whether it's bad. Is it entertaining? Yes, it was. It was entertaining. Most of it. Not all of it, but most of it. Because, especially in the last third, all I could think about was Jaws. All I could think about. In the beginning, not really. Because, okay, like, we're trying this new thing. We have these scientists that are trying to figure out marine life that probably they don't know about, so they're going deeper in the ocean to try to find out what's down there. And... that was interesting, because I haven't really seen that in a shark movie, okay? So that's interesting. But once they get on the ship, and they're trying to take over the shark, I mean, like there's a scene where they have the woman in a shark cage, and this was an interesting shark cage. At least they updated that. It's a big, like, plastic shark cage, and the plastic's, like, this thick. Like, even if the shark tried to bite into it, it couldn't bite into it. It wasn't a metal cage like Jaws. As they're lowering her down, one of the guys is throwing chum in there, and she says, "Why are you throwing that on top of me?" And he goes, "I'm trying to make it taste good." Okay, you're on your own. Like, okay, that was interesting. That was refreshing. We haven't heard that. We understand, like, what's going on. We've seen that before in other shark movies, but it was a new take on it, and I like that. And it's interesting. It keeps it fresh. It keeps the shark movie genre fresh, if you could call it that. Do I think there's going to be a sequel to this? No, absolutely not. Number one, I'm not trying to be cruel to the movie or anything. I don't think the movie made that much money. Usually when the movie makes a lot of money, that's where the sequel comes in. But as far as the story goes, it's your typical science fiction movie, but this time it's with a megalodon. It's not with a great white or a bull shark or a mako shark or a tiger shark. It's a megalodon. The characters, in my opinion, are not that memorable. But is it fun to watch? Yeah, if you're looking for a shark movie that you just want to sit down, turn your mind off, watch a shark movie, have some fun, you'll get that. I mean, that's how I felt. I mean, like, this is coming from a guy who loves Jaws. Hated Sharknado. But I understand you're not supposed to take Sharknado seriously. I get that. How can you? But I don't even want to include Sharknado. I don't even want to include the Shark Attack movies. Shark Attack 3 Megalodon. Let me tell you something. The Meg makes Shark Attack 3... I don't even have words. Okay, so what do I think of the Megalodon? Do I think it's good? I think it's a good movie. Not a great movie, but a good movie. It does have some good action scenes in it, particularly with Jason Statham and the shark, which I did enjoy. So would I say go see it? Yeah, I would. I would definitely say go see it. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Meg. Again, I have to say, this movie kind of came out of nowhere. I just saw the trailer for this like a month and a half ago. And I saw that and I'm like, oh wow, this looks interesting. I didn't think there were any good summer movies that I wanted to see, other than Incredibles 2. And so, yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was good. It was a good little movie. And I say check it out. I mean, it's been in theaters for a month now. It's been a while, but I hate going to the movies on opening weekend, guys. You know, you always have that one guy in the theater that's, like, shouting or screaming at the screen or blowing his nose or chewing his popcorn or checking his phone. And it's just, I just want to see a movie in peace and quiet. Like, if I could have my own private screening room and get the screeners, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. The problem is, I don't do this show for a living. I do this show as a hobby. I've been doing this show for 7 years as a hobby. Wow, there's something wrong with me, right? But anyway, yeah, so those are my thoughts on the Meg. I hope you guys like this, and I will see you guys in the next episode where I talk about my favorite shark movies. See ya.